Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to the Ancient Legends Challenge. In the last episode, Fern's baby was born with a striking resemblance to her mother, Anareme, the great warlord herself. It seems as though she wasn't done with our tribe. In fact, it may have even been Evo's betrayal that summoned her spirit back to our tribe mates. And it's kind of fitting too, because this baby is a bit of a forbidden baby for Fern. She went against her mother's wishes. She didn't take part in the alliance with the Jester. They were supposed to start a family to see if they could receive Melody's blessings, but instead she fell for Pineapple. And of course that backfired on her too, when Evo's plans ended up getting him killed. So as far as this baby's name goes, I asked you guys for some suggestions that would connect him to Anareme, and one of the most popular suggestions was Dukareme. So it's a bit of a more masculine name, but it connects him directly to his grandmother. And I mean, once again, look how similar these two are. He's just a little bit stronger, almost as if to prove that he means business this time. Every time Fern looks at her baby, she probably just feels so much regret for so many different reasons. So I'm sure that that is going to shape his destructive path as well, even if that connection wasn't so apparent. Now I think all that might be left is to move Belle's family, and they have a bit of a situation of their own. It turns out that one of the balance bears is blocking our pathway to the ports. It is just lingering right between our tribe and the ports that we're going to. So the plan is to wrap our tribe around, and hopefully the balance bear won't notice. In fact, we might want to go as far as where Tusk is right now. I feel like if Belle starts shoveling the snow right here, she's probably going to end up drawing its attention. Luckily, balance bears are notoriously slow, so if it does notice us, at least we can run away easily, but we don't want to waste any more time here. So hopefully Ivory can help her mother. This is one of the rare occasions where she's actually very, very happy to have Ivory by her side. Previously, Ivory would follow in her shadow just to get in on the action, but this time she can truly help. Belle is still carrying that baby after all. So do you think this will be far enough away? Way over here by the stones? Let's see. That might actually work. It's about 4 tiles away, right? And a balance bear... Oh no, a balance bear can see 5? Okay, maybe we want to go a little bit further toward the shore then. I guess Tusk really had the right idea in mind. He always seems to be the most level-headed of the bunch, despite the fact that he really wants nothing to do with all of this family drama anymore. He has found himself smack dab right in the middle of it once again. Now as for you guys, I'm not sure if you should go after those bunnies. That's going to put you dangerously close to the balance bear. Though with the Jester being so close to the end of his lifespan, I'm sure that Sylvia would want to spend some of his last days by his side. Maybe they could gather some food together. I mean, there is that delicious root just dangling right in front of your nose. And you know, it might not actually be a bad thing if Jester gets his attention instead. That would allure the balance bear away from the ports, and that's really all that we want. So it's going to be a little bit sad if the balance bear goes after Jester, but I feel like it's a sacrifice he'd be willing to make. Now Sylvia, she's probably going to get quite cold out here, but she's not going to leave her father's side. She knows what he's doing is pretty darn reckless, so she wants to be here in case anything goes south. The balance bear hasn't gone after us yet, and I'm not sure if it's just because he's so distracted by those bunnies. Like, that's another good reason for us to keep those bunnies around if the balance bear is going to hunt them instead. But unfortunately, it looks like they've all skittered away, far too terrified of that beast in the distance. So I think we should be ready to skip the day. We actually have a baby being born on this turn too. Skitty's one and only child with June. So we'll go back there to see what they look like in just a moment, but right now I want to see where this balance bear is going to go. Oh no! Oh no, it went after Belle instead. Oh, that is not good, Mr. Balance Bear. You are now putting yourself right in between our tribe and the ports. Like, there is no question about it anymore. Did he find one of the bunny burrows? Oh, that's probably why he's there. He's looking for more of those tasty morsels. Well, this might be a problem then. We might have to find a way to slay the balance bear before we go any further. Unless somebody is brave enough to try to grab his attention and pull him this way instead. I mean, Belle is really strong. She has a 9 in attack strength. And with the balance bear's defense of 2, that means she would do 7 points of damage every time she lands a hit. We just don't want her settling right by his side, or else she is going to take damage, and we don't have any snouts or healing fruits to bring her back to full health. Maybe the water-breathing plants, though I'm not sure if we found them on this island. Like, we'd probably have to wait until we move to the next island to truly heal her, and I'm not sure if she would have enough time for that. So, Belle, what are we going to do here? I mean, if we could bring Jester up behind him, but these creatures only have 2 points of energy thanks to the colds. Yeah, I mean, if we're not careful, then Sylvia's probably going to end up freezing out here. She already has the common cold anyways. Would she be willing to risk her life like that? I mean, Jester's on his last day, so I know that he would. Let's bring him up here, with the bunnies hopping all around him too. Yeah, they're not going to have enough energy to actually make it to the balance bear. I guess all we can hope is that Sylvia's presence is going to be enticing enough to draw him in the other direction. So for now, Belle, let's try our best to make our escape route. We won't have you attack just yet. We'll have Tusk and Ivory shovel as fast as they possibly can over to the shores. That way our weaker tribe mates will be able to skitter over to the edge. And watch out for leeches, of course. We have so many bunnies hopping around here. Yeah, it's almost as if they're leading our tribe in this direction, so maybe this is the right move to make. We don't really want to risk losing our leader again either. Like, Belle's family has been through more than enough trauma in their time. They need somebody truly stable to lead them right now. Oh, and Kunuk here too? He had sent his daughter out here to do a little bit of spying on these creatures. But I mean, at this point, seeing how they're trying their best to help them through to the shore, where things are much more calm, there's no way that he could possibly assume that they're trying to betray them, right? I mean, they're putting their lives on the limb to ensure a safe passage to the ports. Doesn't that gain them any trust? Maybe that would even open up the opportunity for Hydra to receive his blessings, because she does have a little bit of an eye for Tusk. And with his lifespan coming to a close as well, their chance to have any babies might end right here. It all depends where this balance bear goes. She might have to go really far away just to ensure that her babies won't get hurt. It's a good thing that Skitty's so far away too. I'm not sure if she would be able to handle all of this drama. She had enough with all of that talk of war. The last thing she needs is a balance bear coming after her family too. So let's go see what her little baby looks like. Oh, he has the digging trunk just like she does. And it looks like he does have those stripes. Oh, excellent. And the Berryina snout has inactive traits. Ooh, that's good. So somebody is keeping it at least. And I love those stripes. Those look really nice against the golden fur. I'm glad that he looks like a little sunbeam just like his father. So at least the summer is going to live on in him. The next name on my list is Dewdrop. So welcome to our tribe, little one. We actually had a very important Dewdrop in the tribe of the Tides. He was quite important to the story. So I wonder if this little baby is going to grow up to be just as important here. He does have quite a few of the ancient genes, and the hammertail and his inactive traits. So I think there is a very good potential in him. Now we'll want to start moving these creatures toward the ports as well. Of course, the twins were chasing after the walrus deer, but it seems to have skittered away in all the commotion. We'll have to have Amanda and Snowshoe get out of the water too. You know, Tota might even be the one, oh my gosh, as she's hiding her little bunny friends. Yeah, she's a bit worried that these grand hunters are going to go after her bunnies, so she might just gently shoo them away. Maybe say, hey, I think I heard a walrus deer off in the distance. Maybe you guys should investigate. And of course, these two being ready for action would leave without a single question asked. They're probably expecting that Tota is going to go with them too, but she would be much happier here with all of her little bunny friends. She can just relax by the hot springs maybe, We could even bring her back toward one of these stumps, and maybe she could sing with her bunnies. That might be a good way for us to unlock the peacock tail in the future, so we can lure even more creatures to our side. Now, maybe you guys can hunt down the walrus deer? You know, I'm sure that Skitty is probably going to urge her son to go play with the older boys as well. She's probably very, very happy, despite the fact that her mate has passed away, that she has so many kids to watch after again, even kids of her own now. We'll bring her over on this side so she can relax in the hot springs, and we'll have Pip start carving a pathway straight ahead. I think that Clover would let them take the reins this time. He's high atop his stump anyways, so he could probably see danger if it was close by. But of course the balance bear is very, very far away, so he's unlikely to notice it right now. He's getting pretty close to the end of his lifespan too, so I don't know, maybe we should just have him stay right here? He'll probably hang back to make sure Skitty is okay anyways, so let's just have him sing on the stumps, call all the bunnies close. Oh my gosh, I was not expecting that. There was actually a wanderer out here? Oh my gosh, and she is the perfect age too, just like his own sons. Isn't that something? Though unfortunately she showed up on that last turn. We just have Fern back here, so hopefully she's not going to go too far away. I wonder if she's going to go chasing after those bunnies. Maybe she is a huntress too. Maybe that's why she wanted to get in on the action. I think all we can really do is have Fern just clear out the snow, gather up any little bit of nesting material. And as for the new gene, I'm going to assume that's probably the peacock tail. Yep, that's what it was. We gained the peacock tail from singing out on top of the stumps. Is she still around? Yeah, I think she is literally just chasing after the bunnies right now. I mean, she only has a 1 attack. She has the digging paw and the runner's leg. Oh, and she's sick as well? Oh, I didn't notice that because she didn't have the debuff? That's interesting. I mean, she has the big body and her inactive traits, so at least we could breed that into the tribe. She has the antlers too. But I wonder if her family abandoned her? Maybe that's why she's on her own? She's a sick baby and she is dark as night, so she's probably pretty easy for predators to pick out in the snow. Maybe they just didn't want the liability. Well, let's have Dukareem toddle down from the stump for now, and then I think we should be ready to skip the day again. So let's watch the balance bear one more time, just to see where it's going to go. Did it escape off into the darkness? I mean, it definitely didn't turn around to go after Sylvia. Oh no, Belle, it's locked eyes with you. Hydra's father has passed away. Yeah, this is not good. Maybe we just want it to come to you then. We don't have to go to the balance bear. We can have it come straight up to your door and then you can take it down once and for all. It seems like the balance bear can move 2 tiles per turn, so we might actually be in the perfect location for that. I guess they're gonna try their best to play the balance bear then. Act like they don't know he's there and then swoop in for the kill. That does mean that they will have to request that Tusk and Hydra goes somewhere else. That way they don't put themselves in harm's way. I mean, Tusk is strong, but he is getting very weak, and they've probably noticed that Hydra looks quite smitten, so maybe they're hoping that he'll get the chance to start a family too. We'll just have Belle maybe clear out the snow, once again to fool the balance bear into thinking that they're completely oblivious. Then Tusk can maybe wander off over here. He could actually settle down right on top of the hot springs and pick up some of this meat too. Oh yeah, that was something that Hydra caught the other day, didn't she? I forgot about that. She only has 1 point in attack as well, so she takes 2 turns to take down one of the bunnies. Oh my gosh, but speaking of bunnies, we have so many hopping around right now. I mean, the walrus deer might be gone, but at least you two can still get your fill of food. Pip can go ahead and swipe at this one, and then we even have roots down here too. Now, is she okay? Little Lala? Oh my gosh, I just noticed her name too. No wonder she was attracted to your singing. Maybe you should come down here and make sure. She's just been sitting here overnight. I don't know if maybe she's trying to dig up some food. It doesn't look like she's frozen. Maybe she was just a little bit afraid. Yeah, there is one root over here. I suppose it could always be that she just wanted to share it with Clover. It's not often that you find a wanderer in this game who doesn't want to steal your food, so that's a pleasant surprise. I guess she's just really grateful that he was willing to take her in. So we'll have him settle down on his stump again. She's going to have to keep her distance, but I'm sure she would be very eager to get to know the boys. We'll bring her up here so she can play with them too. And of course, Skitty, now's your chance to nudge your son out of the nest. We'll change his first gem to the digging trunk orange and then scoot him on this way. Do you have anything that you could dig up? No, unfortunately it looks like there aren't any roots out here. You're going to have to teach him well though, so I don't think that she's going to stray too far. We'll have her stay right here just in case those pesky bluebirds come back. Oh, he's actually way over here? That's interesting. I wonder if it might be following one of the walrus deers then? It looks like there are some flattened down tiles over this way, so maybe another one has spawned in the meantime. Well, Tota, I wonder if that means that you could actually find some creatures to spend time with? Like creatures other than the bunnies at least. We might as well have her stay right here in the hot springs for this turn, so she can warm up a little bit. But I'm definitely going to bring her over to one of those stumps to make her base. Maybe there's hope for a family yet. I wonder if Amanda and Snowshoe could maybe help out with the balance bear too? I mean, they're not the strongest, but they do look very, very fierce. We'll have them dig up the roots as they continue on their way. Side by side, of course. They haven't even noticed that Tota isn't with them yet, and they're still expecting to run straight into a walrus deer. I guess they probably wouldn't even realize that she was lying too, because they'd probably assume that she mistook all of the commotion up here for some sort of a walrus deer noise. But let's see if we can set up their mutation menus, Hydra and Tusk, for some healthy babies. Hydra has some pretty poor eyesight, so we'll probably want to take a look at that. But yeah, they both have the heat body too. So I mean, if anybody is going to have their babies blessed by Melody's gift, you would think it would be Tusk. She always did have a soft spot for this little guy, since she did send her ram foxes out to avenge him. So the normal eyesight for Hydra, and then maybe we'll try to weasel in that high fertility, just to ensure that that's what's going to pass on to her babies. Tusk thankfully has pretty high fertility anyways, which is one of those very, very rare occurrences in our tribe. I suppose all we could do is place the hammertail in one of his slots, try to weasel that into their inactive traits, and then the mask to hopefully keep that beautiful pattern on their babies too. So go ahead and breed with Hydra. We'll have her settle down way over here on the stump. Hopefully that's going to be far enough away. I mean, I think... Oh, there's the walrus deer! How did you get way over there? Yeah, that is the one that we were attacking. Oh my goodness, you guys are never going to find that thing now. It might actually be up to Dukareem. But yeah, I think Belle is probably going to have the balance bear's attention after she lands her first attacks. So hopefully you guys won't have anything to worry about. Now, poor Sylvia. She's so sick, she's so cold. I mean, I think there's a pretty good chance that she's going to end up freezing out here if she can't find a hot spring to settle down in. The closest one is this one, which is also pretty darn close to Fern. Oh, and the walrus deer is coming after you too. I think all the animals are trying to help her on her way. The bunnies are even hopping straight in her shadow. And then meanwhile, now that Dukareem has a second gem, I wonder if now might be where he starts to stray away from Fern. She's instilled this idea in his mind that he can trust absolutely no one, not even his own family. So it should come as no surprise that he's starting to feel a little bit distant toward her. And honestly, I don't think that she would really mind. I mean, she just can't stand looking at him and seeing her mother. So as he wanders off toward the very same hot spring that Sylvia's wandering toward right now, oh, how upset is she going to be when she finds this little baby taking up that space? She might not even make it that far, though, with how cold she is. We'll have Fern settle back down on top of her stump. gaze out on her lonely kingdom. Seems quite likely that this is where she's going to spend the rest of her days. That should be all the turns that are safe to make, with Belle and Ivory getting ready to start this attack against the balance bear. Oh, I really hope this is going to work. Fingers crossed it lands right in between them, because that would allow them to both land their attacks. But let's see where the balance bear decides to go. Yes! Oh, thank goodness, and it didn't attack them either, so we should be safe to start the assault. But oh my gosh, look at this little precious baby in the nest. That mask that she has. I actually thought she was a male in the nest because it almost looks like a mane. Ah, but she has the trident just like her mother. She is super cute. I love the gray fur on the digging trunks because they truly look like little elephants. Well, the next name on my list is Sapphire. So welcome to our tribe, little one. You are one majestic baby. So before we do anything else, let's have Belle and Ivory start their attack. Belle can go first to show her daughter how it's done. 2 swipes at the balance bear, which takes off 14 days of its lifespan. Yeah, I think we might be able to do this if we play it just right. We have to make sure that we then move 2 tiles away, put 2 tiles of distance between us and the balance bear, and then we shouldn't have to worry about our creatures getting hurt. Oh, but Ivory's cold. Alright, so you can only land 1 attack, and then you better skitter back here next to your mother. And hopefully that balance bear is still going to be attached to Belle, so it should go this way instead of seeking out our babies. Now luckily we have Snowshoe and Amanda, our little saber siblings, coming up to save the day. So as they continue their way down the shore, they should be able to join this family, and we can help keep Ivory warm. Snowshoe could probably even do a little bit of fishing, right? Oh, I thought he had the bear claw for some reason. That's right, they only have the velvet paws. So I guess fishing is not really in your future, but I did notice that we had a couple of roots over here. So I guess you could always scoot back once the danger has passed. We'll have you settle down right here for now to pick up the root on the next turn. And we'll just cross our fingers that the leeches don't come looking for you guys. Hopefully we've taken care of all of them already. Now I do want to make sure that Hydra can take 1 more baby with her to the next island too. Tusk is on his last day anyways, so he's definitely not coming. We'll bring him over here. Maybe he can even pick up this nest for us. That way we can use that nesting material in the future. Then Hydra can scoot next to her baby and breed with Tusk again. I'm kind of surprised that that one didn't work. Yeah, sometimes even though we have like the highest fertility imaginable, the odds are just not in our favor. Oh, and poor sweet Sylvia. It looks like she did succumb to the cold. She's frozen out here now, and that's probably because of Dukarim and her hot springs. This is going to be an interesting path in his story, though. He's been taught that he can't trust anybody, and yet here's this creature frozen out in the cold, sick too. Like, she is not going to last if we leave her like this. Would he come over here to warm her up? I mean, if you think about it, this is kind of following the same path as Avo as well. Avo had the choice to save Tusk or leave him to freeze, and that was what brought down the god's wrath in the first place. We already know that Anarim would not have stood for that, so you know, I think he's actually going to take the time to warm Sylvia up, and we'll just cross our fingers that she doesn't end up getting him sick in the process. I mean, I guess now that she has full energy, he could guide her gently toward the hot springs. She can take that extra moment just to recover completely. And I'm sure she is feeling so grateful right now. But despite his momentary spark of kindness, I don't think he's going to stick around. I think he's going to keep drifting away like a ghost, leaving her here to bask in the hot springs alone. Unless perhaps Fern takes notice. And I wonder if she would even connect this baby to her sister. I mean, they do look quite similar with those saber fangs and the mask and everything. So maybe she would wonder if this was one of the babies that Belle had. Now she knows that Belle kept up with her end of the alliance. So I wonder if Fern would even take this as her duty to keep her daughter safe. Ah, and the twins have grown at last. They both have their final gems, just in time for Clover's last day. So at least as he stands mightily at the top of that stump, he can watch on with pride as we change their final gems over to the respective colors. Thunder is going to have 3 since he's so decorated. The giant horns, the digging trunk, the hammer tail. And I'm sure that Lala is also quite impressed by that. She probably wishes that she was just as grand. Maybe then she would be able to catch the boys' eyes. For now, all she can really do is just bask in the hot springs too. Maybe help them out by clearing out some of this snow, revealing the rocks so nobody makes that mistake again. And we have plenty of food for them to dig up too. I don't want them getting too close because we don't want to risk messing up Belle's plans. And I'm sure that Tusk and Hydra would probably tell them just as much. So I guess, Clover, for your final day, we could just have you sing from the stumps again. Dewdrop is old enough now too, so he could probably go after that bunny for you. We'll have him take this one down as Skitty follows in his shadow. She can promise Clover that she's going to look after his boys. It's what she knows best after all. Skitty does make an excellent teacher, even if she's not the strongest. And I know that Clover is going to be very happy to have somebody so capable watching after his kids. Now let's go, Tota. We're going to bring you over to this stump, I think. That way you still have the hot spring right next to you. And then we should be all out of turns once more. So one more time, let's pass the day. And we'll see if we can do a little bit more damage on this balance bear. Oh geez, this time it's snowing. That's going to make it quite hard for us to get to those ports again. It's going to be very, very difficult for us to continue carving our pathways. But we do have yet another brand new walrus tier spawning in the meantime. Well, Dukareem, you better hurry up and start making your way across these fields then. He's not going to have much time to meet up with the other families. And imagine their shock when they see him. Belle especially is just going to be beside herself. She hasn't seen her mother in a very long time, of course. I don't think she was even around when she passed. So seeing this baby just wandering with the snow, that is going to send her reeling. But let's go, Belle. Land in your 2 attacks, and then we'll set you up 2 tiles away again. I think that would be right about here this time, right? I think that's 2 tiles. Sometimes it's a little hard to tell when it's at such a weird angle, but she should still be safe there. And this time you have even more backup. Unfortunately, they won't be able to do too much damage because they do have to move toward the balance bear first. But 1 attack from Ivory, then you can go right to your mother's side. We only have 18 days remaining on this balance bear. So that means tomorrow, if Belle can land her 2 attacks again, she should be able to take out the balance bear once and for all. And then that leaves us open to actually leaving for those ports. I don't think anything else is going to be standing in our way. 1 last attack from you 2, Amanda, then you can settle down next to your brother. Now that does put the balance bear in the darkness, but we know exactly where he is. So the only thing that could possibly get in our way now is the snow. Unfortunately, that is going to undo all of our hard work with these pathways. But I guess our tribe could always wrap around from the sea. I'm sure that would actually be Snowshoe and Amanda's contribution to this, since they were traveling by sea with Tota over here when they were hunting down that walrus deer. So the next episode should truly be the one where our tribe is ready to set sail once more. We'll be going to a warmer island with plenty of grass for nesting material, and after we collect enough of that, I think our legends will be unstoppable. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!